starts with time with the lads, crime, everything like this, and then for some with an addicted personality, it takes over. Destroys lives. So world's a better world. Like, you think about it, less crime, less fucking domestic violence, less violence in general, less like mental health issues, less suicide, less fucking everything negative.
That's a big one.
I was always the guy sitting by himself, eating like lunch by himself, and always felt like I didn't fit in and I wasn't enough. And
ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Bros and Chords. Holy, we got an exciting episode for you guys today.
Big one.
Guys, we want to introduce to you Darcy over here.
Thank you.
I'd love to like hype it up and like give an introduction like I do with everyone else, but I want him to actually tell you guys who he is, where he's from, and where he's grown up, and what he's doing right now.
Take it away. So my whole thing and everything I'm raising awareness out there is obviously through addiction, and I believe obviously a sober world's a better world. Because, you know, we all know people who are struggling in the system, outside the system, everything like that, with addiction, with drugs, and that's where it all stems and starts from. You know what I mean? Starts with fun, starts with time with the lads, crime, everything like this, and then for some, with an addicted personality, it takes over. Destroys lives. So
it's casual, eh?
But it's so acceptable. But I'm just trying to make it normal that it's sober should be normal. You know, like sober world's a better world. Like, you think about it, less crime, less fucking domestic violence, less violence in general, less like mental health issues, less suicide, less fucking everything negative.
That's a big one.
So that's what I'm just trying to get out there, because I've been through a lot of that stuff, and I started using at a very young age. So I started using heavy drugs like speed. Before ice was around, there was like speed, which was like old school trucky speed and shit. People, if you know, you know. Like, it's like,
is that the OG?
If you know, you know. But it's like that's what I grew up on, because I started. Obviously, I was bullied in school when I was really young. And I had a lot of insecurities. I was the fat kid in school, and I was always like at school, like through primary school, I was always the guy sitting by himself, eating like lunch by himself, and always felt like I didn't fit in and I wasn't enough. And from a young age, also with authority, like in school, when I didn't want to perform in sport carnivals, I didn't want to go to swimming carnivals, I didn't want to take my shirt off. And even in swimming carnivals or sport carnivals, I was always last.
Wow, that sounds familiar.
No, but that you're always made to feel like a failure.
Yeah.
And then obviously you're not getting picked for things, and I didn't go to discos or sleepovers. I was always by myself, so I always thought something was wrong with me. And then, you know, over time, like in there, just fucking hate myself, and feeling like I don't fit in, I'm not accepted. And then over time, when I'm going into high school, I was alone. Most people have their cliques and shit like that, but a lot of people, when you're not accepted for who you are, you'll change who you are. You know, you'll pick up habits. You'll start doing things that you're not meant to be doing to fit in, to make friends. And that's where I landed in with a group of lads that were just going down and having a smoke down the back oval, or started smoking weed and stoned and rebelling. And I was accepted in that. People in the scene, they don't judge you. You know,
they don't.
People in sporting communities, the football stars, the jocks, the shit like that. Like, I wasn't accepted by them. I was picked on by them. I was made to feel like a victim by them, you know. But when I was accepted into a friendship and a group of people, when I can have a smoke and go down the back oval and just have a laugh, like just have
be
a laugh
yourself,
with a friend. And I've never had that before. So I found, and I dedicated my life to being in that scene, the smoking, wagging, fighting. Like, I got expelled from 3 schools at the start of year 9. I was out of school. You know, and by that time, like, I was obviously going to weekends and drink ups on the weekends with lads and shit, and they had older brothers there, like their older brothers, which were my role models. Like, I come from a great family. My mum and dad were together before my mum passed. My mum and dad, I don't come from a broken home. My family's together. But my family were the last thing on my mind. I did not care about my family. I cared about making friends. You know, I wanted to be accepted. You know, I wanted to have friends. I wanted to have a laugh with friends. I took my family for granted for most of my life, until I was in jail, when I realized my family were the only ones that were there for me, you know?
And then, what was the area you were growing up?
I was in Brisbane, Chermside, around Stafford area in Brisbane, Northside Brizzy is where I grew up, and that's where I got up to most of my shit.
Is that kind of like a ghetto kind of area?
Stafford ways is,
right.
But anywhere, most suburbs have got the ghetto in them, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you know, but that's where I found, like, when I was hanging around my mates and their older brothers were always at the drink ups, and we were drinking, and they'll come out and they're fucking us off their head. You know what I mean? But they were my role models. That's what I wanted to be like, because when I got in that scene as well, like I was obviously, those like older boys took me under their wing, like I was doing crime with them and going out on the streets, and I'd do anything to fit in. Like I was always the one that didn't care. Like I'd run the ball up, like robberies, armed robberies, like breaking enters, all this sort of shit, bottle runs, like bag racks and all this sort of shit. I'll be first in, you know, like I wouldn't care because I wanted to prove myself, you know.
And eventually that caught up. You ended up getting done.
Yeah, I got done. Went to jail. I was always going to jail. My mum always said I was either going to be dead or in jail. That was my future because I had no.
Be hard, bro.
Yeah, but fucking, I was like, yeah, whatever. But that's my dream way of dying was to be off my head. I'm like, if I am off my head and I'm doing something mad, like painting a train or graphing or stealing something mad or getting in a fight and I die, at least I'm off my head. That was my whole mentality. I didn't care about my future. You know?
Do you know what's weird?
Yeah.
I literally heard someone say something exact. I'm not going to name him just for like a good mate, Lebo mate of mine.
Okay.
He did like, I think he was saying in a joking manner that like, I just want to have it one more time, like, and then knock me. But he said it in a joking manner. Do you think that the way we joke about these type of things casually, do you think that has an effect on like how we act?
Obviously, that's in the back of his mind. He wants to send it one last time, then he'll be happy. Like, I'm going to go out with a bang.
Yeah.
That's how I lived my whole life, was just on the edge. I'm like, if I die there was no fear. There was no, when I was young, dumb, and just, because I was off my head every day. Like, I started using speed very young. Like, these older boys started feeding me, like, speed when I was younger, and I'm, like, 12 years old. Like, I started using speed when I was 12. So I was, like, start of year 8. And then by then I was off my head most weekends. Like most people would be out drinking on weekends and I'll just be looking for a point. You know what I mean? Like I'd get on it with the older boys and I was a young one and they were these guys like 20s, late 20s, and they're all jailbirds, like crackheads, junkies. Like I'll be in the room while they're strapping up, shooting up and shit, and I'll just be in there like just fucking off my head, like having chats. But when I'm locked in a room there having chats with these older boys, having DNMs, it's like I'm like so happy, bro. Like I'm accepted, off my head, having chats with mates. Like I'm like, this is the best. They're all, these older boys are picking me out of all the other mates, all the young lads. I was the one they always like said, come on, come with us. Like I was the one that was always, and I loved it.
They took you under their wing.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, and I loved it. Going for earns with them, breaking enters, painting with them, like all lad shit, like full Eshe shit. I love graffiti. I love that whole scene.
What would you say? What would you say was the like the once you've taken, because you've taken like different drugs?
Yeah.
What would you say was the drug that took you down the most?
Speed was the best, but ice really fried my brain.
Yeah.
But I got just people go on about and glorify cocaine. That's a fucking joke because I was a cocaine. When I was, obviously I used speed and ice for most of my, like from I was 11, 12 till I was about 18. And then when I was 18, a lot of shit happened. I got betrayed, and by that time I was living on the streets. I was ran away from home. I was on the street. I was on missing persons list. My family put my photo was up in like local shopping centers. Have you seen this kid? Like all my mates' house were getting raided and shit, looking for me. And that, like some raids, I was in the cupboard while the cops were in there, and I was like wigging. But it's just, I felt so shit because all my mates were crimson and all these houses were getting raided because of me.
Yeah.
And then my mate's like, man, you can't be here. Like we're about to get raided again because you're here. I'm like, fuck. And then so I was always just on the run and that. But over time, obviously, graffiti scene using I was using every day. Like I was I left school and, as I said, study, and I was expelled, and that's when I left home. And then I started just like couch surfing, lived on the streets for ages, bro. Like lived in trap houses, like paid people like points of gear and shit to sleep on their couch and just living trap dens. But that's the whole.
How long did that like last for?
That was from like when I was around probably 14, I left home until I was about 18. So about 3 years when my parents didn't even see me.
Damn, that's a very long time.
That's a long time.
I missed out on Christmases, birthdays. I wasn't there. Most of my Christmases I was in some trap house, but it's off my fucking head.
Were you ever thinking about returning when you were off? Oh, you're off your head, eh? So
I was like, my family, I'll just fucking leave me alone. I'm living my life. This is what I thought living was. You know, I didn't have value for my family. I took them for granted, but I didn't want to be around them on Christmas. I wanted to be off my fucking head.
Yeah,
I lived for it. And with drugs and like this, and especially any drugs, it never goes to shit straight away. You know, you don't use the second you use, everything doesn't just fall apart.
Yeah,
it's over time.
It's over time, eh?
Yeah, because I was using over time every day, and it was always fun. Because when you're in that scene, it's just crime. You're doing like fucking robberies, breaking enters, painting trains, stealing. It's just go. There's no chill. Like it's this rush. Like you go all the time, and most of the time I'm awake, 7 to 10 days at a time, and then I'll just like pass out on a couch after that, and I'll wake up and then keep going. That was my life. And to support myself, I'll be stealing like bag racks from like Myers, David Jones, like filling up bags like Nautica polos, popping beakers and shit, and then selling them. I'll go sell like fucking 30, 40 polos for like 2 points a gear, which if you know that's like $200. So I'll go just sell my soul. I'll go stealing for a day, go earns, come back with all the shit. Sunglasses, hats, go in there for like a boost juice, put some Versace sunnies in it and walk out. For shit. But I would look at my shit that I used to do. I'm like, I would never do that ever again. Like, what the fuck was I thinking? But when you don't care and you don't have any fear, you don't give a fuck. Yeah. Most of the bag racks I'd walk out, the beepers will go off and I'll just fucking run, and just run the bushland or run through whatever and just get away and just go straight to my dealer's house, give them this bag of clothes and we're on, But yeah, it was over time and I got to years of using and shit like that, started seeing a bird that fell to shit. And then that chick that I was seeing, she started seeing a few of my brothers, that were meant to be my mates. Yeah, bro.
Come on, bro.
But your brothers weren't on it, or they?
No, not my brother, but like my blood brother, like my lads, my boys. You know what I mean? Like people that I've stole for, people that I've fought for. I'm still to this day the most loyal human. Okay, like I was always first in for a fight. I would always, if someone spoke badly about a mate and I was there, I'd fucking chin him. Like it's just like that was loyalty to me. For like I'll defend you, I'll like step up for you, and that's what we did. Like that's what we're a brotherhood, like gang, like same thing with all the gangs. Like you do anything for your brothers. You'd be on the front line with your brothers. It's what you do. And then when that sort of happened, I spiraled and I was very drunk, and then also I haven't seen my family for years. And then when I was about 18, I went to take myself back home to see my family after years on the street, like living on the streets and just being a fucking junkie, and then I went back to mum and dad's and I couldn't bring myself to go in there. And then I was literally out the front of mum and dad's and I was just crying, bro. So I got been betrayed by my mates, I can't see I'm like just ashamed, embarrassed. I was just
out of like embarrassment. You didn't want to go in and.
Yeah, but all that, as you said, when I said like drugs don't fuck your life up straight away, all that past is built up and I'm like, what am I doing with my life? You know what I mean? I'm sitting there and then I couldn't go home, so I took myself over the road to this school that we used to drink at when I was real young. We used to go up on the roofs there and drink and that. And then I went up there and then I tried taking my own life when I was 18. So I jumped off the roof when I was 18, 3 stories up, broke my foot. That's it. But I was just up there and I just think, what's the point of me being here? Everyone's better off without me. I've been stabbed in the back by people I gave my life to. My family are ashamed and embarrassed me. I haven't seen them for years. And I gained a lot of weight again. I was big. I was fat again. So I felt like I was fat. I fucking hated myself again. And all the PTSD come back and I said, there's no, I'm better off not here. Everyone's better off without me. And that's what people think. That's what people think when you probably all know someone that's taken on their life. And that's the thought that's go through your head is people are better off without me, and no one's better off. The destruction after suicide is just unbelievable. Some people are battling demons that we got no idea about.
We actually just the past couple of weeks we went to a funeral of my mate's brother. Remember? He died by OD, but they said he was a suicide.
Yeah, he would have.
So
he, like your mate said, I'm going to go out with a bang.
And it's weird because. Like he seemed as someone so happy, someone so like open, and like you wouldn't think that this guy's gonna give in,
But that's what most people like. I was the happiest guy in the room. Like I was always the life of the party, big smile on my face. But these are the people that are putting a mask on, bro. They front and act like they're okay because they want to be liked. They want everyone to fucking he's happy.
People's person.
They don't want to be vulnerable. They don't want to talk about this shit. And they're battling demons. When everyone else is gone, they're crying in the corner, not laughing, not smiling. And that's why
goosebumps.
But they're the ones that's the happiest person in the room is 9 times 10. The life of the party, the person's. That's what I was. Even once I started, obviously after I tried taking my own life, I got sober for like a couple of months after that. Obviously took myself home, told my family everything what I've been doing and shit. And the only time my family seen was mum used to pick me up from the watch house, bro. And then as soon as I got picked up from the watch house,
that's it. You just
as a lad, you get a slap on the wrist. See you later. Like you know what I mean. You're out on bail, and then she'd pick me up, and then I'll just run away from home again. That's the only time.
Man, I can imagine how hard it must have been for mum, and like
I put her through, and dad, I put her through so much shit, and it's just it eats me up. I put her through so much because after obviously. She got diagnosed with terminal cancer. So mum passed about a year ago from terminal cancer and I lost her.
Sorry, lad.
But it's shit. But it's like I got to make her proud though. You know,
That's the main thing, brother. I was just about to say,
Yeah.
you've been on this journey
Yeah,
for a while, bro.
Yeah. So she's seen me like, she was the only one that come to visit me in jail. You know, she was the only one that fucking stood by me, come visit me when I got out of jail, went to rehab. I had one good mate, Mario, my best mate, bro. He came up to jail and visited me there. No one else did. You know,
Yeah.
I was up there. I was like, yep, sweet. No one even knew I was gone, bro. You know what I mean?
Man.
And then
that
when I
sucks, bro.
Yeah,
Like
I
to
know.
have a lot of people. I know that feeling. You hang around a lot of people and you die for some of these people.
all day.
Yeah.
And then when you go in, not even a letter, nothing.
I know.
Insane.
I know. And they're like, oh, where you been? I'm like, oh, I've been gone to fucking jail for a year, cunt. You know what I mean?
It's all lies in the street, eh? Like I feel like people don't see that part.
Yeah,
of the street.
people get caught up. People just get caught up when someone goes to jail. Like, oh, yes, like they just get caught up in the day. And you get it because everyone's caught up in the scene doing their own shit, their own lives. It makes sense, but I would go visit a mate if they're in jail.
No,
All day,
100%.
You know what I mean?
I remember, lad, when I got out and I asked the boys because everyone was messaging me on the day I got out. You know that hype when you get out, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, Jane Lex is out."
Yeah.
Anyways, I said to the boys, "Where were yous?" You know what they said to me? They're like, "Oh, look at your Facebook. I uploaded a status, free the brother." I was like, "Brother, what?"
You made a hashtag, bro. Man.
Remember those days on Facebook when you like all these statuses, free the brother, free this guy, free that guy.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Too many of that, man. Too many.
Just before we get deeper,
Mm.
let's try these Oxy shit. Bro, we got carried away because this guy started with a bang. Amazing. I told you. I told you, bro. Before we go ahead, we're going to try some Oxy Shred. Thank you, Ronnie. He gave us some new flavors. What did you get for us, Ronnie?
Yon looks some pinky strawberry something.
Did you give me pink on purpose or what's going on here?
I know you like the color pink, bro. I got a page. I don't think I've tasted this one.
Yeah.
Cheers.
I think Darcy you were telling us before, Darcy, you were...
I don't have caffeine late in the day. It's like
Yeah.
PTSD with drugs. Like if I don't have a good night's sleep after being an addict for like years, bro, if I don't get a good night's sleep, it's like PTSD.
Yeah.
I feel like off, bro. So I don't have caffeine. Good on you with the Oxy Shred. Looks mad.
Man, I don't even feel like drinking this anymore.
I just can't because it'll affect my sleep, bro. And I just feel scattered, bro.
Yeah,
I hate the
I'm just
feeling,
gonna
bro.
sip it, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, that's mad. That's nice.
That's hectic.
That's very sweet compared to the other ones I was drinking.
Don't judge me, Darcy,
No,
bro.
I've had them before I train. They're mad. I've had them before.
Yeah,
I
they're
train.
actually
fucking
mad.
sick.
Hey, Oxy Shred. Shout out to Oxy Shred. I just tried Guava Paradise. They're always mint with the flavors, bro. They don't muck around with the flavors.
I've tried the passion fruit. Passion fruit's gangster.
Yeah, I think that's the best one, I reckon.
my
I reckon
favourite.
that's the best one.
How many flavors have they come out with? Like, how much flavors do you have to make
Heaps,
until you
bro.
run out of flavors
I
eventually?
thought that we'd already tried them, but then our family from New Zealand started sending us photos. And then I was like, maybe we haven't reached that
Maybe we
level,
haven't, yeah.
that tier of
Maybe there's a hierarchy.
sponsorship. Maybe we're still on the bottom level.
They're
So,
drip feeding you. They're drip feeding you.
yeah, shout out to Oxy Shred. Send us some more flavors. Anyways, let's just jump straight back into this.
You know what? I wanted to ask, you know that from that point that you first jumped off the roof,
Yeah.
what was going through your mind when you suddenly broke your leg and you were just like still breathing?
And you made it.
And you made it. Like,
I broke my foot, but I was just sitting there, bro. I was very drunk, so I don't really fully remember.
oh, okay.
But like
So, yeah,
it was, but I was just remember just sitting there, bro, just crying. You know, and then I just dragged myself home, like a little
Fuck,
across the
man.
road, and just dragged
Poor
myself home.
bro.
wait, so no one seen you jump off?
I was by myself.
Oh,
This was
This
at a
would have been in the
school
middle
at,
of the
like,
night
middle
or
of the
something?
night, like in
Yeah.
a school, bro. Like in a school across the road, 3 stories up.
You know what?
No one's around.
That's like because usually some people they I think they like the idea of suiciding just for attention's sake. But see how he actually was trying to out himself in the middle of the night. No one's watching. Like I feel like some people like they will see how far they can go
Yeah.
as to jump off.
Some
or
people
to,
do it for cry for help. I get that.
exactly.
Yeah.
Which is fine. You know, sometimes people need they need to feel loved and then they need to feel attention.
But
then-
most people will just, as I did, they go in a dark place.
yeah,
and do it
no
with-
one watching, middle
Yeah.
of the night, like how are you doing? Wow,
Yeah.
man.
So I'm blessed to be here. It's
3
like-
stories.
Yeah.
That's deep, man.
Your legs must have been already as big as they are now.
Well, I literally just broke the outside of my foot. That's all that happened, and like
Oh.
bruising on my bruising and shit, and that's it.
I know if that were 3 doors, I would have been finished. I would have been gone. Ronnie's pretty familiar with falling off
Yeah.
high story buildings.
I think our house, we were living in a two-story
Yeah.
house back then, and I just remembered like we were playing I don't know, like if you were young back then, in our childhood, it was a thing for us to just always wrestle
Yeah.
because of how popular WWE was.
Yeah.
And I just remember we were all wrestling, and one of my siblings, I don't know, still to this day, like someone pushed me out of the window.
It wasn't me.
Yeah.
I thought it
felt-
was me.
Yeah, I thought it was sister. And then someone else is saying it was my sister, but there was too many of us in the room to figure out who it was. But yeah, my parents were just shattered. But like when I fell out of the window, lucky because it was just stones and cement everywhere.
Yeah.
But lucky there was a little stubble of bush that I landed on first before.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was young.
I think that's why you
lucky.
asked, because I saw
Yeah.
you like you were
Because
interested
I was just
about
like,
that, eh?
fuck, Yeah,
Because the way you
PTSD.
felt was pretty high as well. We thought you were gone.
yeah.
My mum and dad were already screaming. They,
Yeah.
when they
Yeah.
saw the window, like the fly screen was off.
Yeah.
My mum just like, that sheer scream of like terror. That
Fucking yeah.
Yeah.
Saying you just lost your kid.
yeah. And then
100%.
we went down, and old matey is just crawling out of the bush.
Yeah.
He wasn't even crying. You were in shock. It
Yeah, I was
like,
just in
it
shock.
just happened.
So I was like, what
Got
the
a thick head, boy. You're
fuck,
lucky.
yeah. So my dad always brings it up, like, every time we're getting like just those talks back then, he'll bring it up. He's like, you're living on your second
borrowed time.
you borrowed time,
Yeah.
God blessed you again. You need a
100%. I'll look at it as a second chance too, but
Yeah.
I hadn't many chance. Yeah.
And do
But-
you reckon when you were inside prison, how did that shape your struggle with addictions? Did that even like amp it up more?
Nah, jail got me sober. Jail's the forced detox that I needed, bro. Jail's opened my eyes because obviously after I tried taking my life, I got sober for a bit,
Yeah.
and then I went back. And then I fell back in the parties. Like I went overseas with dad and worked over in Christchurch, New Zealand.
Oh,
over
wow.
there and rebuild to get me sober and go over there. And I started exercising over there and just got sober, over
Yeah.
with dad. And that was the plan, to go over there, get sober and just change my life. And then I went over there, got sober. And then I was like, oh, sweet. But then I obviously I was like 18, 19, right?
Yeah.
And then I see everyone on social media going nightclubbing and all this sort of
Yeah,
shit, and I
yeah.
wanted that. I was like, oh, fuck, all these people going out. So I came back home. Bad idea. Dad's like, don't go. I'm like, fuck you, I'll do what I want. I come home.
Mm.
And then I started going out drinking on weekends. I fell back into drinking, but drinking's okay because ice and speed were my problem. This is what I was saying before, like speed ruined my life and ice was to fuck my life up, but cocaine and drinking fucked my life up just the same. It's
So there's
all the
there's
same.
no levels.
No
They're
levels,
all
bro.
like,
Okay, you look at an alcoholic, bro. They fuck their whole lives up, bro. Cokehead, bro. I got more scattered, more fucking paranoid, more anxious on cocaine than I did on meth.
really?
Fucking oath I did, bro.
Wow.
Cocaine makes me so anxious, bro. You have a line, anyone who snorts rack, they're like everyone. Then you have a line of rack, and then everyone just sits there mute. It's
That's
just like,
true, lad.
fucking
That's
everyone's wigging
true.
out, like you're thinking all these
Yeah.
conversations in your head, but you're not saying a thing. You're like, nah.
And you know what's weird? For some reason, you just keep doing it. Like, you
Yeah.
know what's going to happen, and you're just going to sit there. Everyone's going to be on their phone in the corners of the
Bro,
room, but you still do
stupid
it.
shit.
I don't know why.
It's
You,
the worst drug. Like,
what do you think
fuck.
it is? Is there
It's
a...
a social thing. It's like alcohol. It's so normal. Get a bag, have a few lines, have a chat. Because you have a few chats, and then people just get overcooked, bro, and then just fucking.
They just sit
Send
there.
it. Yeah,
they
yeah,
just sit
bro.
there marinating in the fucking
Yeah.
thoughts.
But that's why I fell into. I started drinking again, and drinking was okay. Then obviously got in the cocaine scene and the nightclubs. I had mates selling pingers and shit. Then I started like selling pills and shit like that in clubs. And then I was making mad money because I started to meet a few people.
Yeah.
And then selling pingers every weekend. Gave up my day job. You know what I mean? And then just started fucking selling heaps of rack. And then just didn't go out clubbing anymore. Just got paranoid at home and started pushing a fair bit of rack.
Fuck.
And then, but that's when I started using cocaine every day. And that's when I got,
Yeah.
because you ask an addict, like it's just, we've swapped one thing for another.
For another,
Yeah. Even people that get fully sober, they turn to food and they get fat, bro.
That's true.
And
That's
they
very
justify
true.
it, bro.
You got to fill that void, eh?
Yeah, well, that's what I did. I justified cocaine and drinking on weekends is okay because it's not ice or speed. That's what got me to the point where I tried taking my own life. That's what destroyed me. Cocaine. Everyone goes out drinking. Everyone's on. Well, look how many people are out in the valley or the nightclub scene. There's thousands of people.
Everyone talks about doing rack now.
Yeah.
Everyone talks about it.
But it's so normal, and that's like that's why I fell into that thing where I was justifying. Like, it's okay, it's right. It's a couple of lines. Everyone does it. Then me, I go all in. Like I'm just, and then I was literally started snorting rack every day, and that's when obviously I was living at mum's house, bro. It was like selling rack out of a house and shit. Like fucking stupid, bro. But anyway, I was started using every day at home, and then she broke the news to me, my brother and my dad, that she's got terminal cancer, and that was like had to sit us all down and tell us. But then also, you know, I know she wanted to sort of tell me to sort of like pull my head together, like we need to band together, you know. But how I always dealt with everything was use more drugs, escape my feelings. If a negative feeling comes up in my life, I'll escape it. I'll just go numb that shit. I don't want to face that. I don't want to face reality. You know what I mean? So I started using more and more rack. I didn't even cry when my mum first told me that she had cancer. I went straight down to my room. I had a couple of ockers of rack in my room, and I just started snorting fucking heaps of gear, you know. And then I just got real bad, and then I completely, as bad as it sounds, I forgot my mum had cancer. Well, I didn't forget, but I numbed it out. And I moved out of home because I was over there and being like, what are you doing with your life? What are you doing? What are you doing? You're getting a job. What are you doing? I'm like, I've got heaps of money, giving them cash because I'm selling drugs. You know, I'm like, oh, heaps, it's fucking $5,000. I'm like, fuck, I'm sweet. I've got heaps of money. Look at all my money I got. You know, I'm justifying it, you know, because I've got money, you know, I can use. I'm fucking sweet. When I'm like hibernating, I'm not even going out at this point, bro. I'm not seeing my mates. I'm just hibernating in a room. You know, just selling gear on the weekends. One place I go is like the pokies at like fucking midnight when I'm bored. You know, just off my head by myself at pokey machines. I'm not a big gambler, but I was fucking off my head. I was bored. You know? So started using every day like that. Then I got real bad, and then bro, I moved into this penthouse, bro. I was like, oh, I got a penthouse here. No one. It was just a crack. It was like a trap house, bro. I turned into there was just people in there constantly off their fucking head. It was like the worst idea, and it was just like everyone, like constantly, like 10 people in there at a time, all off your heads, like smoking ice, snorting rack, everything, bro. GHB, just snorting like squirts of Fanta and shit. You know, like just it was bad. And I ended up getting back on the pipe in there. Because I was obviously snorting rack every day.
And how long did that last for when you just like when you're only on alcohol and rack? How long did you last for?
I was snorting rack for good probably when I was like 19 till I was about 21, 22. So there was a good 4 years there.
That's a pretty long time without touching speed and meth.
No. So, but the whole time, as I said, everything doesn't go to shit straight away.
Over time.
It's over time. Like I was at the start when I was snorting rack, I was social. I had the boys over on Friday night. I'll dump out gear. I'm like, let's all have some lines, have some chats. This is bad. Man, let's have some DNMs. And I had heaps of fun. And that's where we fall into it, because at the start it is fun. You know, and that's where our walls drop, and we associate it with fun. We associate it with happiness. My whole life, I never had happiness without drugs. You know, when I was a kid, I started using when I was 11, 12. I made friends with drugs, had good times with drugs, crime, fucking all the best times of my life were with drugs. When there was no drugs involved, there was no happiness. So I assumed from a young age, without drugs, I can't be happy. Drugs is my happiness. Drugs is my life. Partying, doing this, using is happiness. And then I fell into that again, because obviously when I was sober and I come back, I was bored. You know, I was bored. I wasn't doing the right things. I wasn't exercising. I wasn't working on myself like I do now. And I fell into the party scene, and this is fun again. I'm like, I'm back having fun again. You know, it's fucking happiness. And then started going from Friday to Sunday, like weekend benders, and then Thursday night I have a couple of
they creeped into the weekend.
And then I'm just using every day again. And I'm right back to having fun. But I wouldn't wake up without it. Like as an addict, you don't know. Like it became a need, not a want. You know, I needed it to wake up. I needed it to function. I needed it to talk to people. I needed to get through my day. Without drugs, I couldn't get out of bed.
You would just stay home. You wouldn't go.
I wouldn't do anything. So I want to have a line, but all right, let's start my day. Yep, sweet. That's when it becomes, that's when addiction really starts, is when it becomes a need, not a want. You want it. I'll have something, I want it. Yeah, sweet. But when you need it to function, that's when things start going to shit. That's when you like rely on it for happiness. And that's what it was to me for so many years, for fucking 10 years of my life, since I was 11, 12, till I went to jail around 23. I was sober for a 3-month period. In between that, every other day I was a daily user. You know, no education, no job, no nothing, selling drugs, using for 10 years of my life, you know. And then obviously a long time snorting rack, if you know, you know, but you set them. I've got no septum, bro. I can't snort through my nose. My face is fucked from drugs, bro. It's so bad. So if you know, you know, but like, you know.
So what is it? Is it closed up?
It's deviated. It's full fuck. It's like
there's like nothing you can do to fix it? Or
like you can get nose surgery and shit, but this one, it's all right. But like I can breathe. I'm fine. If it was causing me problems, I'd have to get a nose reco, but I'm sweet. I'm
Yeah.
Bro,
sweet.
it's weird the excuses you tell yourself in the beginning. Because I remember when I was young, everyone was pushing in the area.
Yeah,
Everyone
yeah.
was.
It's a lifestyle.
And you know what it was? Because my missus, she's been with me since I was we're high school sweethearts, since I was a
Man.
teenager, and she saw it so early on. It's weird how girls, they see things that we don't. You know,
We're blind. Bro.
we're blind, bro. we're bananas. Anyway, she got like, I made the excuse. She didn't care. Well, she did care that like I was dealing, but she just kind of like, oh, whatever, just don't do it in front of me,
Yeah,
kind of
stand
thing.
by you,
She
bro.
knew I was doing it behind closed doors.
Yeah.
But then I started doing this thing where like you said, every weekend, then I'd be like, I'd get a shipment throughout the week and I'd be like, oh, I need to try it, make sure that the key is good.
Yeah.
No, you make those excuses and then
sample it, bro.
and then, yeah, you got to
Yeah,
sample everything. That sample turns to a couple. And then the next day, I just started making excuses. Apparently that there's new gear coming every day. Right? And my missus, clueless, she's like, she's believing me, the sweetheart. She thinks I'm telling her the truth. But then over time, I couldn't even go to work, like you said.
Yeah.
Like, it went from, I'll just have one just to get me started at work,
Shit.
to then when I have nothing, I'll fucking start calling and like, hey, who's got?
Right.
I need something.
Bro, you can ask anyone, like anyone who uses any addict out there, when have you ever had one?
Bro, and you'd probably get junk, like the shittest thing. Even if you can't find anything, I swear there's probably been time where I've just taken junk up my nose just to
just to feel something.
just to feel something going up. And I swear it was probably all jump. It was probably all, nothing.
Like 90-10.
Yeah, that's right. But it's crazy the way it creeps into your soul.
Yeah.
Like it
But-
really gets a hold of you by the balls, eh?
But that's over time. Like, obviously, during that time I was using, my septum gave out. So I was like using that saline solution, where you blow it up. Like, it's the water, the salt.
that squeezing thing.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
blows out all the things. I was doing that to use. Like, I'll blow it out and I'd have a big scab rip off the back of my face from in the back of my face of like just balls of blood, like little fucking
Clumps.
ball clumps, bro, like solid tear off the back of my face. And then my logic back then is if I snort the rack, when that rips off, it gets in my bloodstream quicker and I can get high quicker.
Whoa, bro, what?
But over time doing that, obviously,
Yeah.
my nose stopped working. So
Yeah.
I just literally picked up a pipe. I had a mate that was always coming over with pipes, and the whole logic of me not using ice for speed because it's bad, that went out the window and I wanted to get high.
Yeah.
And I had my first pipe after years and years not using it, and I loved it. And I fell back in love with it, and I started getting on the pipe every day, and I justified, ice is sweet because ice is cheaper.
Yeah.
It lasts longer. It's just
Stronger too, eh?
It's not affecting my nose. I don't get anxiety because when I was snorting rack heaps, I was eating Valiums and Xannies to level me out.
Yeah.
If I had like literally 100 bottles of Valiums in my top drawer. 100. That's like, what's that? 10,000 Valiums in my top drawer because every time I have a couple of lines, I have half a Valium. And that just leveled me out.
Oh, really? As you're going?
Yeah. While I was snorting rack. It's just
And
like,
did that level you out?
yeah, it did, but it just used more and more, bro.
Yeah.
It's just like, but you look at it's like speedballing. You're playing with your heart like this. It's not. It's
Can't be
very
good for you in the
That's
long run.
dangerous.
That's
That's
overdoses.
yeah.
People overdose like that, bro.
Yeah.
Like Xannies and that. Their heart's like, what's going on? It just stops. But I had to have like that because my anxiety was real bad. So that was another thing I justify when I started smoking ice again. I'm like, fuck, man, I don't have to take Valiums anymore. I don't have to. My nose is going to be fine. It's cheaper. I can afford more. I'm not going to blow all this money on cocaine. I can sell more cocaine, make more money. So, but then I'm back on the fucking smoking ice again. You know what I mean?
It's even worse,
And then shortly after that, got raided, got done. I had a few assaults. And just got done with the raid. Someone fucking dogged me in anyway, but got done with all that shit. And then got bail on that. And then went up to Cairns to catch up with one of my mates up there. Because once I got done, and no one wanted to talk to me because I was red hot.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
gotcha.
And these boys
Usually like that.
Yeah, but it is. But I took it personally. Because
Oh.
I'm like, the same thing when I took it personally when people betrayed me when I was younger.
Yeah.
I'm like, these boys, I'm selling gear for these cunts, I'm making these cunts so much money. Some of the drugs that were in my house that I got done with weren't even mine. I was holding it for them. And I'm like, this isn't even my shit. I took the rap for you cunts, you know what I mean? You
And now they're just nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, but
Plus, you were probably on the thing as
I
well.
was
Still,
fucking cooked. Yeah. So I'm like, fuck, I was messaging my mate. I'm like, I'm going to do something stupid, bro. He's like, come up here, come to Cairns. We'll fucking come up here. We'll train. You know what? We'll collect a bit of money up here because he was doing stuff up there. I'm like, yes, sweet. And we went up there, drove up there. And as soon as I landed into Cairns, bro, we just started eating zannies, smoking pipes, and just drinking, and just got in a lot of trouble up there. Like I was just running through houses, and then fights in nightclubs, and just straight back in the scene up there. And that was the worst I was when I was up there. I was just zero fucks. And this is all while my mum's going through cancer treatments and shit. I haven't seen that. You know what I mean? Like I didn't forgot about my mum, bro. You know, I wasn't there for a cancer treatment. I wasn't there to support my dad, my little brother. You know, I didn't think about that till I got pinched up there for an assault I got done in. Up there, I hurt someone in a nightclub. And then I got, obviously went to the cells, and they're like, you going on the bus? I'm like, what bus? Can't get my lawyer. You know what I mean? I'm like, can't get no bail, just like every other time. You know,
Yeah.
And they're like, you're not seeing your lawyer. But you're going into court, went into court. I don't even remember getting sentenced, bro. I just went to court and I got held on remand. And then they're like, Mr. Cogdale, go on the bus. And then I'm like, no, fuck off, cunt. And they like put me in the shackles and walking me to this bus. I'm like, I'm going to fucking jail. I'm like, what the fuck? Because my whole life is slap on the wrist, bail, suspended sentence, bail, suspended sentence. You know, like you just get away for shit for so long, you know, and then I was just like, this is fucking real. And I was on the bus on the way there. So I was in the watch house for like 4 or 5 days over the weekend where I was putrid, you know, when you get stuck in there over the weekend. You know what I mean? But anyway, so I was on my way to jail, but then that's when sort of reality hit me, you know, because on the way to jail, I've never been to jail, but like, you know, I'm like, I'm gonna get fucked in the ass. You know what I mean?
I think that's what everyone's
I'm like,
thinking
I'm gonna fight that.
Yeah.
You're coming near me. You know what I mean? Like,
I think even would it be safe to say this? Even people that have been in jail, everyone gets that butterfly feeling in your stomach. Like, fuck,
but when you walk into a unit
can't
with
believe
100 blokes just staring at you, and I was just this white boy, fresh meat, cracked out off the streets. I'm like, holy fuck. Bro. And I got locked up in Cairns, so I was like a black fella jail. I was an Abo jail, Aboriginal jail, so it's just all the dark fellas, bro.
Is there any politics there in Cairns? Like,
not
with
really.
The races?
You just like, don't stare at like full blood Aboriginals in the eyes, shit like that.
Oh, really?
They'll out ya.
Yeah.
It's like I was landed up in there, and I was just like, I was scared. Whoever says they don't have those butterflies or any bit of fear going to jail is bullshit. Unless you're like a criminal that's done like fucking a brick and shit. They're going home, bro. Most people go home to see the boys. I went back to jail a second time, so I went in, got Supreme Court bail on my charges, got out and went back to jail, and that was sort of like, I'm just going back again because I landed in the same unit, same boys were in there, a few boys gave me their shoes and shit. I'm like, oh, I'm home again. You know what I mean? Because I just started peeing. Like, so I was like, when I was in there, that's when I sort of reality hit me. Yeah, you know, like that's when I was sitting there in my cell. Like I called mum. I'm like, mum, you know when you get your first call when you go in, like you get that call, and I called mum. I'm like, mum, I'm in jail. She hasn't spoken to me for years, bro. You know what I mean? And she's like, what the fuck? And then landed in there, and then I just had the fear in there every day that I'm going to miss my mum's funeral. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm in jail, and I've looked back at all the reflecting. Because, bro, when you're in jail and you're in your cell, all you do is think.
Fuck, lad. And you would have been on a come down as well from everything.
Bro, I remember my come down, okay? That was like 10 years. Everyone says, what was it like? But I was too busy looking over my shoulder, wigging I was wigging out. Like, but I would just go outside and I'd start exercising, cutting laps, chin-ups, dips, burpees, like training. Every cunt in there's just like, this cunt's fucking cooked. He's like, he's out in the yard training for fucking like 8 hours of the day. Like, besides lockdown and shit, I was out in the yard cutting laps. I'm like, fuck. Because I'm like, fuck, I'm going to get in a punch on. I'm like, I'm ready. I'm like, whatever, it is what it is, and I'm going to keep busy. You know, I just wanted to sit there because I didn't know no one. I knew no one. You know, and then over time I was training that, and a few boys like, oh, bro, you train like a fucking weapon. I'm like, bro, I'm just doing head miles because I'm coming down. I'm just we're sweating out these drugs, bro. And I ended up making a few mates in there, like, you know, training with them, and you know, sitting down playing fucking chop and cards and shit.
That's mad, lad.
Chop, bro. Every company had to play chop. It's the best game in the world.
Any ping pong there?
Nah, no ping pong. No ping pong where I was. But then made a few mates in there, and then obviously when you're sitting reflecting in your cell, you just, all I thought about was just my family, bro. Just every day, just like, fuck, I'm not going to be, I look back and I thought, like, I have not made one proud memory with my mum. You know, not one proud memory with my family. Never finished school. Started using drugs when I was 11, bro. You know what I mean? I never went to, most Christmases I wasn't home. I was out on the streets using drugs. I wasn't there for my birthdays. I wasn't there for any of mum's cancer treatments, nothing. You know, and then I was sitting in jail, and I'm like, I look back, I'm like, I couldn't think of one proud memory I had with my mum. I couldn't remember any. I had none.
That sucks.
And then that just ate me up. And then obviously not getting much sleep in there. But that's why I started just training like a fucking, like, hectic so I could sleep at night. That was my medication. You know, if I trained my ass on the ground so I could sleep good at night, you know, and keep my mind busy. You know,
is that where you started getting into fitness in jail?
Hard. Yeah.
So before that, when you were on all those years of bending, you weren't training nothing?
No, I had a stint there when I went over and got sober in New Zealand. I was training there. I came back and I was training during the week until I fell in the party scene, and I would have been training for 6-7 months. Oh, maybe 8 months of training. Yeah. But then that all went to shit when I started just using every day to get gym. You know?
They don't align drinking in that, and training and stuff.
I think it aligns with that, bro. You can't get ahead.
I don't know how, like, people normalize, like, I don't know, training and also having cocktails at the bar on the weekends and stuff.
But most people are fucking struggling, bro. A lot of people, there's not many. That's why the people that are successful and get ahead, they're the 1%.
Yeah.
You know, most people like that are struggling. They're never going to get ahead because they keep putting themselves back. They're working to go out on the weekend. You know, they're in the cycle.
I agree.
Nowhere, bro.
It's also got something with what he was saying before. It's like almost like you're trying to justify that cocktail or that drink every weekend it comes around.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, it's just you're going to end up adding more over time.
But that cocktail is their happiness, bro.
Yeah,
their day-to-day life during the week, they're not happy, bro. You know what I mean? They're working a job they don't like. They go back to probably misses and that they're arguing with because they're fucking or whatever, if they've even got a missus. You know, and they go out, and most go. But the only reason men go out to drink, bro, is to chase pussy.
Yeah.
Come on. You know what I mean? Like, that's all they do. And they go out and they seek that all the time. And, you know, they go out constantly and they seek that. And then their day-to-day life during the week, they're fucking depressed, bro. They're sitting there trying to chat to chicks on their social media or trying to do that. And, you know, they're not getting anywhere, bro. You know, it's just, that's the whole culture, but.
What would you say, as being someone such a powerful advocate for sobriety, what would you say is a line where, would you say there is a line at all where a tradie can have a couple beers after work, or maybe like with his steak and stuff? Where would you kind of say, like, you know what I mean?
If they ask those people that do say it's all sweet, when's the last day they actually woke up really happy? If you woke up truly happy every day and you're proud, you walk around, you look amazing, you feel amazing, successful,
you won't
you're
feel
feeling
like
amazing.
drinking.
If you feel like that and you're drinking, good on you. But I don't know anyone that does.
That's true.
I don't know. If you got to ask that question, when's the last day you actually woke up happy, and be honest with yourself?
You know what, lad? That is so true. No one has ever explained to me like that.
Yeah.
I didn't even know how. I knew I felt better, but I thought it's just because I felt healthier.
Yeah.
But I just realized some days I wake up and my kids jump on me and my missus is there smiling at me. I'm having you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
100%.
Whereas before, I'd have a good night and I'd wake up and I'd wish I didn't wake up, you know?
Yeah. You don't want to face the day, right?
No.
So they can say it's no harm, but can I guarantee you have not been happy in a long time because it's no harm.
Yeah.
You know? So, but ever since I got sober and when I was in jail, every day I woke up happier and happier. In jail was the happiest I've ever been in my life. You know, I was in there, I was clear, I was waking up happier. I'd call my mum and actually tell her every day, like, I love you, mum, and I'm going to make you proud every day. I promised my mum in jail that I'll never drink again, I'll never use drugs again, I'll never fight again, I'll never do anything that was involved in my past life that got me into trouble. And I've kept that promise since then. I'm like 2,724 days sober now. And that's how many days ago I was ago. So it's over 7 years sober. Yeah.
Jeez.
But I've kept that promise. But every day in jail, I started to wake up clearer. I started to be happy. I look forward for my day. See, my whole life, I woke up and I dreaded my day. I needed drugs to wake up. That was my happiness. If I wake up and I didn't have drugs, my day would be shit. You know, in jail, I started to wake up. My head was clear. I woke up happier. I was excited for those doors to unlock, go out and train with the boys. You know, burpees, go do burpees. I was like fucking keen. You know, and I'll journal in there. I started journaling in there, writing down to myself, you know what, no matter what in here, I'll always make mum proud no matter what. And I said, no matter what, even if she passes in jail, I'm still going to make you proud, mum. I like journal to my mum in jail. You know, and that's what just got me up every day. And I was like, yep, sweet, ready. And every day I just got clearer and clearer. I woke up happy. I'll call my mum on the phone, fucking happy. And she come up to visit and see me. I'm like glowing. And she's like, Darcy, this is the best I've ever seen. And I'm like, I feel fucking amazing. You know what? And then I got out. The thing, most people get out of jail and they fall back and they go out and they party. They fall back in old habits.
Yeah.
You know, most people in the system, they go back in the system real quick.
Yeah, exactly,
you know, there's a small percent that stay out.
That's right. That's right.
Because they lose that structure and routine they had in jail.
That's what I was just about to say next. You know? In some way, it kind of work like that because they do say that jail. a lot of boys that I know, because we've been around a lot of jailbirds, they say it's a waste of time of like them throwing the books at them. They're just going to come out and do more, just do it more smarter. But in a very special case like yours.
Yeah, there is a very special case.
Yes.
Yeah, because structure and routine there, you get unlocked at the same time. Buzzer goes off, make your bed, do all that sort of shit.
Yeah.
Lockdown, food comes at the same time.
Everything is routine.
Everything's routine, bro. And that's where I found my routine is where I thrive. That's why on my social media, I throw a coffee on my face every morning. 2:30 in the morning.
We're going to link one of those videos.
Yeah, when you see, if you know, you know. But the reason why I do that, every morning in jail, I woke up, you know how you got the 2-minute showers where it goes cold and then it goes hot? There's only one temp.
Yeah.
So I'd wake up, I'd have my Bushell's coffee, you know, it was a Bushell's coffee and I had no kettle in my cell. So my morning coffee would be press the button, have a cold shower, and then when it starts to heat up, I'd put my cup under, and then I'd have my hot coffee in the shower.
Oh, no
Wow.
way.
That's what I did every morning.
Is that why? Is that the story behind
That's
it?
the story. Wow.
So that's why I do it. And then I'd sit down after that and I'll journal. I'd write those messages to my mum, remind myself I'll stay sober, I'll make her proud. Started journaling. I'd close my eyes and just think of my mum and just like sort of meditate in a way.
Yeah.
Like in my cell, just to close my eyes and I'll just think of my mum and I'll say my promise. I'd pray to my mum. You know, everyone needs a higher power. You know, whether it's some people have Christ, some people have Allah, some people have all that sort of shit, but it doesn't have to be a religion. My religion is my mum.
Yeah.
You know, my God is my mum. I live for my mum. I've changed my life for my mum. I
Good on
follow
you,
my
mate.
mum's footsteps. You know, I live like my mum. She was strong through cancer. She never showed any weakness. She never complained. She stayed strong every day for us while cancer ate her away. You know, so I stay strong like her. I'm empathetic like her. I'm kind like her. I live like her. She is my God. I pray to my mum every day to this day. Her ashes on my bench at home. You know, and
cremated?
Yeah. I've got her ashes on my bench at home. And because everyone needs a higher power, but a higher power doesn't have to be Jesus or doesn't have to be Allah. It can be someone you love because it's someone you look up to genuinely. Like, I live for my mum. You know?
Would you say that was the turning point? Let's get to the juice. What actually made you because obviously you've had a big past.
Yeah.
What was the turning point where you finally said, you know what, this is it, Das? We're changing everything.
When I sat in jail and realised I might miss my mum's funeral, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I've never made my mum proud, and I promised myself in jail and I promised her in jail that I'll never drink again, I'll never use again, I'll never do anything ever again. I promised that's the day. And as I said, over 7 years ago, I made that promise and I'll be sober for the rest of my life. Easy.
Yeah.
No dramas. Like, I've got no temptation. You know, temptation happens when you're not focused on what really matters. You know, what I remind myself what really matters to me every day. I journal it every day. And what really matters to me is making my mum proud. What really matters to me is my happiness. What really matters to me is making my family proud. Mate, what really matters to me is being a good role model, setting a good example, making a difference in the world. That's what matters. My happiness. Drugs, alcohol, feeling like shit, coming down does not matter to me.
Yeah.
So I focus on what really matters every day and I live my life around what matters to me. You know, and people lose track on what matters. You know, you go justify a drink or justify a couple lines. Okay, what about waking up and spending time with your kid in the morning?
Yeah.
Doesn't that matter to you?
Yeah.
What about them having a good role model every day? Doesn't that matter to you? You know, what about you waking up unhappy, depressed, feeling like shit? Doesn't that matter to you? You know, we all justify things when our minds are distracted with a busy work week, or I'm tired, I've had a big week, or you know what, I'm angry, I'm frustrated. That's when we make choices around emotions.
Yeah,
which is how we feel.
That's right.
We don't make choices around what really matters about being present with your kid or waking up happy or feeling amazing. We make choices around emotions and that destroys us.
Yeah. I actually, that it's very good that you said that, because I did make a TikTok reel earlier saying that especially us as men, we function best not using our emotions, because when we're using our emotions, and we're physical beings, like we lash out with our hands when we're emotional. You know, we're not like girls, they'll have a cry when they're emotional. Us, we'll start ripping the place up and doing some stupid shit. So it's so important to be able to channel your emotions as a man, you know, and to be able to stick in, because we're all going through life. Everyone is going through stuff. And it's I feel like when you beat yourself up and you start having that victim mentality, then that's when it kind of creeps in, eh? You start feeling like, you know what, maybe I deserve a couple beers. I deserve a line. I've had a big week. When you start like rewarding yourself,
That's justifying again. Rewarding yourself. Okay, but you reward yourself with, okay, I deserve these couples of beer. You deserve to be feeling like shit all tomorrow. Okay, I deserve a couple of beers. I'll deserve one line. I've been good for ages. Okay, but your kids deserve to be neglected all weekend and have to sit on the iPad because you're coming down feeling like shit. Doesn't make sense.
So always think of that back end. That's it's.
But that's what really matters
hectic.
to you.
Hectic.
You know, you go back to what really matters, not with what your emotions are mattering, bro.
100.
So I've always, because emotional choices are bad choices, bro. When you're angry,
Yeah.
when you're upset, you make dumb choices, bro.
Yeah.
That's powerful because it also goes back to how much you care about other people more than yourself.
Yeah.
So it just shows, it shows your characteristics.
Yeah, but I guarantee even your family have always stood by you no matter what, yeah?
Oh, 100%. That's I was getting emotional when you're talking about how your mum, she never gave up on you.
No.
And I'm so glad that she was able to see you better at the end of the
Well, I got a
rainbow.
message from her when I was up in Cairns, like on the run and fucking getting all that trouble up there. And that's the photo on my Instagram. I'm just crying, bro, because I got a message from her. I didn't have a place to stay. I was in my car, had no fuel, had no money, had nothing. I literally melted down my ice pipe that was in my car, like the stem of it, and smoked my last little bit of ice that I had, and I was sitting there and I got a message from mum saying, just know I love you with all my heart and I've always got a room here for you. Your room's still here. If you ever need us, your room's still here. You've always got a spot here. I love you. And then I was like, I didn't even reply to it, bro. I didn't even reply. Just broke down.
That just crunched my heart, bro. That's crazy. The love of a mother, hey?
You can't.
Shout out to the mother.
The love of a mother, bro.
But I got to make her proud, bro. The best thing I ever did was get out, fucking show I was being my best. Like I went all in with obviously my PT, my business, having that, become very successful in that. And then I was able to support my whole family because my dad gave up his life to go full-time carer for my mum.
Yeah.
And my dad's like an old school Aussie bloke builder. Like he'll have a beer after work, but he's not a full-blown drunk. Like that generation's built different. Our generation's fucked, bro. Those old cunts can just sink like a couple of beers and they're all sweet. But like our generation,
they're tough as nails too, them old fellas.
Bro, we're getting weaker. But like he gave up his whole life to go full carer for mum.
Yeah.
He's no more work, just full like wipe her on ass, washing her, showering her. Like it debilitated. Like cancer ate her from the inside out. She went to shit. So she couldn't walk, she couldn't shower. Dad was doing all that on hand with her, taking all her appointments every day.
Good on you, Dad.
Fucking oath. But I was able to support them. I made good money doing what I was doing. I paid for their rent. I paid for all their bills. I paid for everything. You know what? They live rent free, bill free, everything. Because
bro, I'm sure like you like obviously and. Even though your mum passed, it would have felt good in your heart that you finally, at the end of the rainbow, you were able to do something nice for them.
I got to say goodbye. I reckon the universe rewarded me with more time with my mum because I changed. I believe if I didn't change, I'd still be sitting in jail, should be dead right now, and I would never pray. But because I changed, I believe when you do good things just happen, bro. You get given opportunities, good moments happen.
100%.
And I was given that time with her. And then, when she passed, it was me, Dad, and my brother around the bed, and she was there, and she just got faded out on morphine and shit. And I got to say my goodbyes. Like some people don't get to say goodbye. Bro. A lot of people don't get to say goodbye. So I'm blessed with being able to say goodbye to her. I made her proud, and she knows that she knew that I'm not going back. She knew that I'm the son she deserves, and I was the best feeling ever to be content with saying goodbye. I had no regrets.
Bro,
I had regrets. Obviously,
man.
I caused a lot of pain over the time, but I did everything possibly I could every single day since I got sober to make her proud.
Yeah.
She got to see me do that. She was alive. I bought Dad his dream house. So I bought Dad a house right on the water down in Brisbane, Bribie Island.
Wow.
So he's fully retired. I retired my dad.
Yeah.
I pay for all his bills. I pay for his mortgage, everything. He buy a boat, everything like that. I retired my dad.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Good on you, lad.
Yeah. So
I feel like that's like there's a lot of
man.
different definitions of success, but to me, that is a huge part of what I call success.
Yeah. So
retiring your parents.
100%. So I support him. I'll support him for the rest of his life. He won't need money. He's sweet. I won't pay him every week and support everything. But this is the most rewarding thing was just being able to fucking support him, and we became very close after Mum's. If anything, Mum's battle just brought us all together even more.
And you got siblings?
Little brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Was he young when like all of that stuff was happening?
He's seen a lot of shit. Obviously, I'd come home when I was living on the streets. I'd come home and I'd steal the Xbox and go sell it for drugs. And it was bad. I was like, I'd go home and just rob the family house. I'd come home and steal money out of my mum's wallet, my grandma's wallet, like for drugs, and just like come home, steal the Xbox that we got given for Christmas. I'd go sell that for drugs.
Damn.
And he resented me for a lot, and he was just. But if anything, what I did saved him from going down a dark path.
Yeah.
So there is, me and him are so close now. Like, we're like brothers, like you two, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And same with Dad. My dad's like my best mate, bro. We're so good. And, we're good. Like, everything's fucking awesome.
Man, tell us a little bit about the stuff you're doing now. You're going to schools and like
Yeah.
you're doing a lot of exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Even for us, it's exciting to see because we've been invited to schools and stuff. And we were saying before the podcast that we're not sure if we can handle that type of stress.
Yeah.
The last person I saw talking in front of a school got shot in the neck. So, I don't know if that's the next step yet,
Yeah.
but
Bro, if you don't do it, you regret it later.
yeah.
If you don't do it, if you're
That's
like,
true.
fuck, I wish
That's
I
true.
did that, you regret it.
Was there any challenges for you, like when you were first talking in front of your first school?
Nah, because when I talk about my life. Like I don't lie. I don't have a script. I talk.
There's
about
nothing to be
my
nervous
personal-
about if you're not lying, eh?
Yeah. And I know when kids that listen to my story, they can relate to my story. Even being a street kid, like doing all that sort of shit, kids relate to that. So they're like, fucking, they listen. As I said, like when we were in school, when I was in school, like there'll be a police officer would come in or a football star would come in and say, "Don't do drugs, kids."
Mm.
How can I relate to you? Can't.
Nah, yeah.
How can I even? You don't even know what I'm going through right now.
Yeah.
How can you can't tell me what to do. You got no idea what I'm going through. You know what I mean? You got no idea what it's like. You know, you can't just tell me what to do.
Mm.
You know, so I find when I go speaking there, when yous will go speaking there too, they'll be able to relate to you.
Yeah.
They'll be able to relate and they'll listen, bro. Like,
That's so true, lad.
yeah.
I remember when I was in juvenile, I don't know if did people ever visit like the jails when you were there and
Nah.
like do motivate. So I think they only done it in juvie. I was in Cobham and sometimes they'll have like some
Speaking.
you remember Eric Banner, the Australian actor?
Oh,
He was the
yeah,
first
yeah.
Hulk. And he was in Troy, Eric
I know,
Banner.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he came and visited, and the bloke he's doing his motivational speech. But I'm looking around at the boys, and they were all thinking what I'm thinking, like, who the fuck is
this
this?
movie star?
Like,
How do you relate to
who's
me?
this guy? And like, but I do remember he was such a nice bloke. Like, he looked so happy to be there, and he's just like, yeah, guys, like, you know, you got your future ahead of you, mate. Like, you know, look at you boys, and I was just sitting there like, hey, this guy is wasting his time.
Yeah, I
mate.
can't relate.
Like, what's he doing?
That's like when I went into speaking schools and that, like you'll know when you speak to kids, like these kids that I've obviously spoken schools and like secondary schools where the kids are like, it's their second chance.
Yeah.
Like street kids and kids like that didn't go good at school. It's their second chance.
Wow.
And I went in and spoke to them and usually they're just running amok. You know what I mean? They're like, the kids are up to no good.
Yeah.
But I had the whole crowd like silent, bro, because they were listening.
Good on you,
You know,
Das,
like,
lads.
that's when you know that people are connecting with you when they're listening. If you're speaking and people are speaking amongst themselves and they're not focused on you. They don't care what you have to say. But if they're silent, you know you can connect. And I went and spoke in schools and shit like that. Then after I left the schools, I'd have kids message me being like, "Hey man, I really, really related to all your stuff, man. Since you were in here, I haven't smoked any weed since you came and spoke. You know what?" And I messaged him back, "I'm fucking mad, bro. If you ever need anything, like call me."
Bro, it's powerful. You're
Yeah.
very influential. You just saw we were about to not drink our Oxyshred can just from what you said. I feel like
caffeine.
you just radiate a lot of authenticity and a lot of raw. Like you can just tell. I can tell when someone's been through a lot of shit. Like you really don't like hold anything in. You just whatever's on your chest, it just comes out.
I've always said,
And
I'm
it
always
flows
real
out
as fuck.
naturally.
Yeah. I'm always, look at my Instagram, but I'm real and raw as fuck. Do not care what people think. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I've been through. I know where I've come from. I don't have anything to prove to anyone. I know that I'm trying to make a difference and actually help people.
Yeah.
A lot of people say that, you know, but there's a few people that actually do. You know,
Yeah.
like, I'm here to help people, but buy my course. You know what I mean?
Bro,
Like-
tell us about your course. Plug us with your course because I think I'm gonna need. I've got a really good friend of mine. Shout out to Mitros the Menace. He's another fellow Sydney rapper artist, and we actually speak a lot. Me and Mitros, we actually align on a lot of things.
He's a good cunt.
He's a good
Shout
cunt.
out, Mitchell.
We can talk for ages, me and Mitros,
Yeah.
and he's spoken very highly of you and your training course and all the stuff that you do.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that. Like, so you're training a lot of people.
Yeah, so I'm online. So I'm more of a life coach, and I bring the fitness side into it. It's like a fitness app for workouts. I do meal plans, everything like that, which is like the transformation side of things. But the main thing I do is I help people break addictions. I help people.
I reckon they work line in line,
They
lad.
do. You need
they
both.
do. Yeah.
You need exercise as a part of addictions, but there's a lot of other things I teach, like journaling, meditations, finding your reason why. Like I hold people accountable every day. Like you ask Mitchos, anyone I coach, like I message all my clients every day to make sure they're okay. Like all of them, like check in with them, voice notes. Like I get them to send photos of all their stuff, and I have a chat to them. And they start, and I find out why they're doing it. A lot of people come to me when they've lost their kids, their missus has left them, like they're in a very bad place, and they reach out.
Yeah.
That's when people are going to reach out for changes, when everything goes to shit.
Yeah.
Okay, when you're in the hype of it, when you're having fun, you're not going to be like, "Oh yeah, this is fun. I need help."
Yeah,
That doesn't
yeah,
make
yeah,
sense.
yeah.
You know, it's when everyone needs to hit that rock bottom, where everyone needs to lose most things they love before they realize, fuck, I need to make changes.
That's
Yeah.
You
right.
know, and it sucks, and that's addiction. There's no remedy, there's never a happy ending in it, ever.
Yeah.
There's not one addict that has a happy ending. Okay?
We definitely need more fellas like you because it's just not getting any better. The
No.
generations that are coming up, drugs are being more easy accessible.
Yeah.
And not only that, it's being pushed on
Yeah.
It's all over social media. I was just listening to Kylie and Jackie O the other morning, and they're just talking about it casually about having a few lines.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Normalised.
I know that they were taking the piss, but like,
Yeah.
there's like
Still planting seeds.
It's
bro.
just still planting
Yeah, yeah.
seeds in young kids. Their brains are still developing.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
when they hear these words over and over and over again, it starts to get normal.
Yeah.
And I think what Darcy's doing is amazing, guys. We're actually coming up to the end of our podcast session. I really felt like we just started talking.
But I could talk.
I really felt like we just started talking. There's so much we could catch up on, but you can find Darcy on where can everyone find you?
Mainly Instagram.
Mainly Instagram.
DRC.fit.pt, but you'll see it. DRC.
Guys, whether
Madness.
you're struggling with drugs, struggling with anything in life, buy this guy's course. You've seen it here for yourself.
You
This
just
guy
don't have
is
to buy my courses. Reach out to me.
Yeah.
I'm not selling courses.
Yeah.
Okay, just reach out to me and ask if you're struggling, just have a chat. Just reach out to me.
Yeah. Guys, we've got a little bit more time. There was a few crucial questions me and Ronnie wanted to ask Das. Me and Ronnie, we love training. It's no secret. We try to put up our little arm pumps on our stories. It's nothing
All for the
crazy.
gram, bro.
Yeah, at least like positive, man.
Yeah, all day.
Right now, there's a lot of access to steroids and like testosterone. There's one of the more famous ones coming up to summer. Anava, Winstrol,
Yeah.
all these type of steroids. Me and Ronnie we've talked about potentially looking into starting a cycle. I'm getting to that kind of age where I'm like, I don't know if it's something it's definitely needed.
Yeah.
But I love the gym. I feel like anyone that
100%.
loves the gym, anyone that loves like
But I don't look at steroids. I'm steroids like tren, all that sort of shit. No go. Like
Yeah.
I did that. I did that bodybuilding comp. I did one. I'm not a bodybuilder. I went and did it just to show everyone that anyone could do it. Like I'm an ex fucking drug addict. I went there.
That's mad,
I
man.
went first, bro. I
What?
went up there. I just did it for no shits and gigs. I went up there and I got first. I beat all these bodybuilders.
Holy
cunt.
God.
And they're like, you could go pro. Like the judges and all the people, like you can go far in this sport.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck this sport, but I was so unhealthy. And
Yeah.
shit. But with like trend and shit like that, unhealthy as fuck. I did it in that comp. Don't do trend. Okay,
Yeah.
trend's fucking shit. But I run TRT, so I get my bloods done. I run 1 mil test a week.
Yeah.
Best thing ever done.
Is that TRT's testosterone
Yeah, there's
replacement
heaps of
therapy?
clinics out there. I'll shout out Optimal Health Clinic on the Gold Coast. Optimal Health Clinic. They do TRT. They do blood tests, everything like this.
Yeah.
I think every man in the world should run TRT. I don't care. You're like, oh, you run steroids. You're still a fucking drug addict. You can fuck off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Seriously. I'm like,
I've
bro,
seen you say that exactly in the same way
Bro.
online.
You want to test that theory? Go smoke meth and snort cocaine for 1 month. All right?
Yeah.
And then go inject a mill of fucking testosterone for 1 month and let's see how your life goes to shit.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not the same. You
Yeah.
can go fuck yourself, bro. Men are prescribed testosterone all over the world. That whole thing is just insecure fucking losers trying to fucking keyboard warrior thing.
Yeah.
I don't care what people think. I look amazing. I eat clean every day. I got my meals in my bag, bro. I got chicken and rice in my bag down here. For fuck's sake, I eat clean as. But I run a mill of tests a week because when I got out of jail, obviously I got bloods done because obviously Hep C, sharing needles, and I wasn't using needles, but like there's people fucking popping each other's pimples. You seen them there? It's fucking. Anyway, but there's dirty in there. But there's like, anyway, so I got out of jail, got bloods done to make sure everything was right. But when I got my bloods done, my test was come back like a 12-year-old girl, bro. You know, I had low
Just from
tests.
all those years of
Drugs.
partying and like
Drugs.
your dopamine.
I didn't sleep, bro. Like sleep when you're growing up as a kid. Like I started using when I was 11, 12 years old. And you got to realize most of the time I was awake 7 to 10 days at a time and I would shut down. I would not sleep for 7 to 10 days.
Yeah.
You know, and that was most of my like teenage years when you're meant to grow as a kid.
Mm.
You know, so I would have fucked my hormones with drugs for years, not sleeping. Shit, like you look at fucking research, you Google ChatGPT, do drugs affect testosterone levels? And they do, they ruin it. So I got out of jail, my test levels are low as, and I was still functioning, but I was always felt like I was running on empty. I was like fucking fucking tired, but I was still pushing because I wanted to make my mum proud. I was working big days and shit like that. And then I started TRT, started through a doctor, prescribed, went to an oncologist, all that sort of shit, and done it all properly. And I started taking TRT and my energy was up. I felt fucking amazing. You know, I'm not running a fuckload of gear. I ran a heap of gear when I did that bodybuilding comp, and that's unhealthy.
So TRT is just one thing. That's just
1 mil, just testosterone.
That's just
testosterone
test.
Dante.
And that's an oil-based...
just an injection twice a week. And it's just a small micro, a little fucking amount. It's not much. You don't need to run fuckloads. But your energy levels will come up. You'll feel amazing. You'll be alert.
Yeah.
I've been running it for about probably 5 years now. I've been on TRT for 5 years.
And your blood test is
regular
still...
blood,
everything is
healthy
good?
as fuck. I'm an advocate for I think it's great.
Wow.
It's not a fucking drug. I don't care what anyone says. When you're at the age and you got bloods done, if you get your bloods done and your levels are normal, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. If your levels are fine, it's fine. You're functioning fine. Just clean up your diet, train. You look mad. You know what I mean? You can look good natty.
Brother, that's the whole reason why I'm asking is because I went and done my bloods and my test is...
down,
plummeted.
Bro, you're going to have more energy for your kids. You're going to have more energy for your family, more energy for your day-to-day life, your work, train hard, and there are no downsides to it.
And you reckon the cause is mainly from, because I milked out party a lot.
Well, you've used your body, bro.
Would it also be, because I did hear that the stats of testosterone in men are way lower than they've ever been.
Yeah, but look at the culture.
Yeah,
Drugs,
that's right.
everything.
That's
was
right.
like
Everyone's...
back in the day, there was no heavy drugs. There wasn't everyone using rack all the time. Like 20 years ago, everyone was just fucking alcoholics.
And plus, every man, like everyone's on social media now. Life just isn't as hard as it used to be, I guess. Eh?
Yeah. But the levels will be, if they're low, I recommend going and getting a blood test done. Okay, through a proper clinic. There's clinics, as I said, Optimal Health Clinic. I'll shout them out. There's a mate of mine owns a clinic.
Yeah,
and it's a great clinic. They do bloods. It's all through doctors, all legal as fuck. It's
that's
not
mad.
Getting gear off old mate at the gym. Okay, it's completely
different. Some of you might take this out of context.
Hey.
Don't hit up Abdul from the gym, bro.
Dodgy cunt. But like you can do it safely and properly, and I think most men should get. I think every man over the age of, well, I fuck my body young, but I know late 20s, early 30s should get a blood test done.
That's why I'm mad. That's why I'm mad.
Bro, you get a blood test done if it's low, bro. Bro, low testosterone has massive links to male depression, male suicide, all shit, bro. Because you're not functioning, you're down, you're low, you can't get your dick hard, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck, can't.
Ooh.
That would be fucked.
That's a lot, man.
Yeah. So I'm all for it. I've got nothing to hide. Fuck, I inject.
No, that's mad. Because, bro, lad, you know what I wanted to ask? I seen a snippet of you talking about it, and no one talks about this. No one, even in the bodybuilding community, all they say is creatine, and I'm thinking, why isn't anyone like a lad like myself that because I've heard the good side and the bad sides and stuff. I'm always on Reddit, just reading.
But that's when you're abusing it, bro.
You're
running other compounds like Deca and all that other Tren. That shit's gonna fuck your hormones, bro. That's no good.
Yeah,
you know, there's other compounds when you start mixing shit and doing a juicy cycle. You know, to put on heaps of size. That's when you're gonna fuck your body up. You know, most people do that and they don't come off properly. They don't PCT. They don't do anything right. And
what's PCT?
So it's like when you run testosterone, you cancel out your natural test levels. That's what happens. You suppress your normal test, and you get synthetic testosterone. And it's just like normal test.
Yeah.
But when you stop taking your normal testosterone or you do a big cycle and you just stop randomly and that's out of your system, your normal test hasn't come back. It's still suppressed.
And then what's the effects? What happens to you?
Low energy. You won't get a dick hard. You just be low energy. So there's stuff you can take like HCG and shit that gets your levels back up, that like boost your system back up so you can come off a cycle properly. You know, and run things to get your body naturally working again.
This is actually proper information.
But that's through the clinic.
This is proper
clinic,
information.
That Optimal Health Clinic I'm talking about. If you want, I'll send you it after this.
Yeah, please.
I'll send you them.
Please.
Okay, they're good, but they do all that sort of shit proper through doctors. Like this day and age, bro, there's a lot of clinics out there. It's getting more and more common. Like I think it's great.
I think it's mad the way even the way you address it as well. Like because the doctor was telling me about TRT.
Yeah,
but I kind of like I was always. I'm scared of needles.
But
not scared of needles, but I just feel like it's like I don't want to be like
a pincushion gun.
Yeah. That's exactly
you get used to it, but I hate needles too, bro. Like that's why when I was hanging around, like I used to smoke ice, obviously.
Yeah.
But I can't say like I was booting mates up, like they'll be strapping up. I would boot people up in the neck and shit. Like my whole crew and people I hung out with, you either shot up or you smoked. You know what I mean? That was, but I said, I love fucking smoking ice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when I used to help people do needles, I was fucking, my good mates like, oh, can you do this for me? I'm like, oh, fuck, yeah, right. And I hated doing it. Like drawing the blood out and doing that. It's fucking feral.
And even, it's like kind of frowned upon, like using needles, but the way you address it, it makes so much sense. Like,
bro, there's so many men all over the world that are prescribed it legally through a doctor, bro. Get an immune system.
It's the same thing as doctors prescribing like medicine, like Panadols, and like if your body needs it.
Bro, Valiums and fucking shit are prescribing. They fuck your head up more than fucking testosterone.
Yeah, that's true, lad.
Antidepressants in 2 seconds, bro.
That's true, lad.
Okay, but a shot of testosterone that's going to make you feel amazing and doesn't have any negative side effects. I've had no negative side effects in 5 years of using it.
That's mad.
So I'm an advocate for it. I don't care. People can say, oh, fucking I'm a steroid head and fucking whatever.
Oh, there's a lot of warriors out there. Even on our podcast, we get a majority of our fans are pretty good, but you get a few.
You got a good fan base. Yeah, you got a good because he's a real butt.
Yeah,
that's why
appreciate that, lad.
I wouldn't fly down from fucking Brisbane to come off.
He flew all the way down from Brisbane, guys.
Gold Coast.
And he actually mentioned something I caught earlier about you were stealing Nautica. Did you say Nautica? So a lot of you guys say that Brisbane and Gold Coast were not on that lad gear. You've heard it here from Das.
Fuck off.
They were on that lad gear.
Bro, I was Nike Shocks, Nautica shorts, fucking Nautica polos. I had hundreds of them, bro.
There you go.
And I was Brisbane Northside.
And what year was that?
Hundreds of lads. I was what would that be? 2000. Probably 2010, 11. When I was young.
Ronnie, this is going to be this reel is going to make a lot of war in the comments. Because I actually knew that Brisbane there were a few lads over there.
And I used to paint with so many lads. I was all painting crews all through Brisbane.
It wasn't just Sydney, No,
I was painting. I was painting every night over there. I was painting every night in Brisbane. Groups of lads would go out with a bag full of fucking iron lax, bro, and go paint in the streets every fucking night, bro, with like hundreds of people I've met that were in the scene.
Yeah.
There's so many lad scenes within the Brizzy, painting trains, everything. Bowen Hill Yard, everything like this. It's massive.
Wow. I'm glad we finally got someone proper from that time to pay homage, because a lot of people would argue in the comments that there were lads in Brisbane, but we just didn't know anyone that was around Brisbane around that time.
There was a lad scene, massive.
There you go.
I don't think there was a massive lad scene on the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
I don't think, but Brisbane was I was fucking, I know hundreds, if not thousands. I've met thousands of lads in Brizzy.
There you
go.
Proper
Eshay,
proper Eshay. All right, guys. I think, bro, I don't even want to end this, bro. I still got more questions, but
ask. How long we got?
How long we got?
We've probably got 5-10 minutes.
Go.
We'll go. Ronnie, I'll let you ask some questions. I've been hogging the mic.
What's there to ask? What's probably what's your seeing that as you love training and seeing that as that's part of your whole changing, like your whole life, and that, what would you say is the most important exercise, or whatever exercise that just kind of kept you going, and like probably the most the exercise you prioritize the most, or
cardio.
Or what's your favorite? Yeah,
cardio.
Yeah, I love cardio.
And that's kept you going?
Yeah, I do 60 minutes of cardio every morning. Cardio makes you feel good. Weights is awesome. You build the body and everything like that. But exercising in general, bro, you need to train, bro. You got to train for you. I train for my mental health, bro.
Yeah.
I don't train for my body. I got my body, bro. That comes anyway. But I train for my mental health. I go in and train and feel good. You know, but I've just started getting into boxing now, bro. Boxing's mad.
Boxing,
yeah.
I started boxing because obviously you fought a lot as a young lad and shit, but you get humbled when you go from thinking you can fight and then you jump into a ring and start learning how to fight.
Yeah.
Okay? You get humbled, bro. There's cunts out there that can bang. Boxers and fighters are fighters, bro, and I respect fighters so much. I've started boxing for about the last year. Started off doing pad work and I loved it because I'm bigger and I can move, and I was like, fuck, I love this. I was feeling good, and then started sparring a few boys. I'm like, oh, this is mad. You know what I mean? Like, fucking fall in love with it. And probably next year I'm hopefully going into Golden Gloves and go just try, see. I'll probably
fuck, lad. I'll be watching, lad. Yeah, we'll be watching. We'll be behind you. Now
I'm getting more and more into it, and loving moving and just loving the sport. Like, I have so much respect for that sport, boxing, MMA, everything. Like it's a great sport. I mean, I've fallen in love with it. I love it. Like, it's good to know as a man too to go in and be able to. It's a confidence thing to know you can bang and know you can hold your own, and it's a confidence thing. But
what was your first feeling when you first got into a ring and like
I haven't done a professional fight, but I've
in
sparred,
like a spar, like copping some good shots, and you're like,
well, it was humbling, but it was good to know that I could still. I'm not made of glass. You know,
Yeah.
because I haven't fought for
Yeah.
years, bro. You know, I was out of the scene, I'm doing all this sort of stuff. I haven't fought for years, and you don't know if you're not fighting regularly. You're like, oh, like in the back of your mind, you're like, fuck, have I still got it? Can I still fight? Like, can I cop a hit? And then went in there, and I'm sparring some good boxers,
Yeah.
and I'm getting cracked. Like I'm like crack them, but then I'm like, fuck, all right, I'm sweet. I'm all right,
Yeah,
that's all good. I can keep going, but it's good to learn, bro. Going in there and just fucking, it's something where weights like weights. You go put a 5 kilo plate on, and it's like, ooh, 5 more kilos. It's fucking boring, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Push,
Yeah,
pull.
it's just boring. Once I started found boxing, and it's like your footwork, like you like everything involved around it.
And there's no rest in between sets. So
Nah,
like,
bro.
I've heard the cardio of boxing is the most ruthless cardio
Bro, it's
ever.
hectic. It's fucking, but it's good. It's great, and it's good to be able to learn and be able to move and just get in a ring with it. I just wanted to start doing it because a few of my mates are professional are fighters.
Oh,
And
wow.
I'm like, I want to be able to, instead of like catching up with the bro and doing a gym session, I'm like, I want to go spar and do a few rounds with a mate. You know what I mean? Like, this is
Yeah.
fun.
yeah.
And then started doing it more and more, and then I started to fall in love with it. And I'm just fucking, it's like one of my main, it's like a little like side passion of mine now. I just love it. And
You're just in love
people
with the science of it, eh?
and but the people in the fight scene too, that everyone is so humble and nice, bro.
Yeah.
Boxers,
Yeah.
fighters, some of the best people in the world, bro. They're
Yeah.
all just humble. They just all want to help you and do better. Like there's some people with egos and shit, but good on them. But most of the boxers I've boxed with are really good boxers, but I go spar with them and they like they don't go hard out on me. They're humble as, and they want to watch you grow. Like it's a great community, bro. Look at a fight gyms, fight like communities, bro. It's very, 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 very like positive.
Down to earth people,
Positive,
yeah.
bro. It's a
That's
good
true, lad.
community, bro. I think any lads that are struggling, get yourself into like a fight gym. Even if you don't fight, just going in to be a part of a community,
Yeah.
can save your life. You know, it could save you, just give you a bit of direction, a few like-minded people that want you to do good. Because you go in there, you're surrounded by good people, bro. I love it.
Do you think that like a basic set of combat abilities every man should have in his arsenal?
Everyone wants to know they can hold their own.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to know that you're going to be okay. That little fear of like, you don't want to have that. You want to know you can hold your own.
Even as a
man.
father, eh?
And father,
yeah.
protect as a man, as anything. You want to know you can hold your own.
Yeah.
Always, it's something that you need to, I believe you need to do. You
Mm.
know, if you're not the best, you're not going to go get world titles. Just to know that you can defend yourself. You know, you can throw hands.
You're going
I
to take
agree.
this boxing thing all the way and like
Nah,
see
nah,
how-
I don't want all these pros offering me out. I'm good.
Bro, because I wanted to make a little.
I'm just doing it for my mental health. I'm doing it for me,
it's
bro.
mad.
I'm not doing it to go win world titles. Like I'm just doing it for me. It's just like my passion, my purpose is helping people change their lives. I want to go once I get successful, buy a few more properties and stuff like that. I want to go offer my time and speak in schools all over Australia. That's my 5-year plan, is to go speak and get my story out there and message. And as you've heard my story, like I want to go speak in every school in Australia. I want to go.
Good on you, lad.
Put my
You
ties
should,
in
lad.
it.
You
NA
have an
is like
amazing story, lad.
big drug like NA, like big NA, you know, NA.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to go speak on stages. I want to do David Goggins shit.
Yeah.
That's where my purpose is. Boxing is just weights and training. That's just a thing for me. Like I'm not doing that to become the next fucking Muhammad Ali. Like I'm doing it for me. I don't care. My passion is helping change people's lives and get my story out there, because I know it's powerful. It was the amount of lives that have changed just by speaking and being able to help people. I know that's where I'm meant to be. Like I'm not having kids. Like me and my missus spoke about, I'm not having kids because I find we're both equal on that. We just want to live our life, and that's just my own choice. But I find my purpose and my passion is helping other people.
Yeah.
Like that's where I want to be, and I want to, as I said, I want to speak on stages and all over the world even. So once I get set up, I buy a few more houses and stuff, and I'm set. Like I'll still do my coaching like I am because I love helping people, but then I want to get like a speaking manager and like get them to put
Take
my
it all
name
the way.
forward. Yeah, put my name forward to big events. I haven't got time to look for that shit.
Nah.
You know, I'm so busy, but it's just I want to go speak on big stages. But
Yeah.
that's where my purpose is.
That's mad.
Maybe fight Paul Gallen later. Later on, Paul Gallen. Hey.
Yeah.
Nah. What a mad chat, lad. What a mad yarn.
Yeah, that was
Is there any special people you want to give a shout out to before we close it up?
Oh, my mum, rest in peace. And love your mum. And my wife, obviously, fucking biggest support ever.
Yeah.
And my family. And all my good mates, everyone that stands by me, everyone that supports my message and what I'm about.
Yeah.
DRC Fit, that's for hope for people who are struggling. It's like Darcy Fit, DRC Fit. It's just, that's my brand and that, but it's my brand is hope for people who are struggling.
Amen.
You know, that's what. So shout out to everyone who supports me, and shout out to you boys for having me on here.
Thank you, brother.
And the message you guys are
appreciate
getting out, it's
having you on,
fucking
man.
sick too. It's mad. You know?
Wow.
It's good.
Thank
because
you
it's
guys
real.
for tuning in for another episode. This was probably one of my favorite episodes. We actually copped a lot of gems and game from this. And I know just from seeing Ronnie, we were both thinking the same thing. Every time he dropped a gem, we looked at each other and we were like, bro, like we relate a lot to this bloke.
Yeah.
It's been an amazing journey. Make sure you guys follow him on Instagram and follow his journey. He's doing some amazing stuff. I'm sure this won't be the last time we're going to catch up with this guy.
I'd love to catch up.
Yeah.
If you're ever on the Gold Coast or something, let me know. We'll go do something.
We'll do.
Yeah.
We'll do. Not for a fight, but not for a boxing
Go
fight.
for a feed and train or something.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys in another episode.
She still wanna hang with a crew, yeah. When a call comes, we move. A queen like you.